Hey, you guys, Desmond here, and welcome to the Unapologetically Honest podcast, our very first episode. This is something I've been waiting to do for the longest, and for this first episode, I'm like, you know what? It's just going to be me, myself, and I discussing one of my favorite things ever, wrestling. So I want to start getting into wrestling reviews as well as other reviews. This podcast, we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff. And after watching last night's episode, I knew I needed to get in here and go ahead and start telling my truths. So, normally I would have a co-host with me, but I don't have a co-host for wrestling. None of my friends really watch wrestling. I have a brother, and he said he wanted to do this with me, but as you can see, he's not here. So, we're gonna do it. I'm gonna do it by myself. And if people come in, that's great. If not, we just gonna keep it pushing. So, last night, Raw, the December 30th, 2019 episode of Raw. Not only was it the last episode of Raw for 2019, it was the last episode of Raw for the decade. And I have to be honest, I was entertained. I know, especially when we get to the main event. I know when we get there. Yeah. But let's start off at the beginning of the show, okay? So we start off with Kevin Owens cutting a promo in the middle of the ring. And I am really interested. I am really intrigued in this storyline now. At first, I was like, what are they doing? This is stupid. Can we please... Why are we doing Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins again? Why? But then, they throw Samoa Joe in, and I sat up. When he went through that table last week, I'm like, uh-oh, somebody's cleared. And somebody was cleared because he came out to that ring and ran through Seth Rollins and AOP because they came out there and jumped Kevin Owens. Now, they got beat because, it was 3-on-2. But security came out, and I'm over the whole, let's all stand right here so somebody can jump on us thing. But they did it right. I'm sick of it, but they did it right. It looked good. Everybody felt like they were supposed to. Because if you watch, sometimes one person kind of misses when they're supposed to fall. So they kind of fall after everybody else's fall. And it looks a hot mess. But yeah, AOP and Seth Rollins came out, attacked. Then Samoa Joe came out and attacked them. And it was beautiful. There was chairs. It was everything. And then afterwards, they were all escorted from the building, which I thought was stupid. I honestly feel like if they didn't have the Rusev and Lana Bobby Lashley storyline ending the show, I feel like they would have probably done like a tag team situation, like Kevin and Samoa versus AOP with Seth in the corner. But hey, it's what it was. I really didn't think they were leaving though. Like, okay, yeah, they're leaving. Yeah, they're gone. You don't see this, but I'm doing air quotes. They're gone. But they really were. So I had to eat my words. I really did. So we go into what I think is probably the best match of the night. Aleister Black and Buddy Murphy. Can we... A round of applause. That was a match. I couldn't look anywhere else. Like, I couldn't even look on my phone or play my Sims, because I play Sims. I'm just sitting there, zoomed in on the television. Them two put on a great match. Oh, there were so many close falls. When Buddy Murphy kicked Aleister Black, I'm like, oh snap, is he going to beat him with his own move? Well, look at her. I was honestly mad when the commercials came. I'm like, wait a minute, can we get a little side screen so we can see what's going on? But that was a match. Their matches together have been amazing. Buddy Murphy is amazing. Aleister Black is amazing. And I'm so glad they're finally getting some form of recognition, some form of push, because those are two amazing performers. Like when Buddy Murphy had his whole situation on SmackDown when he was wrestling Roman Reigns and he beat Daniel Bryan. I'm not sure if you heard me there to repeat that. I had a feeling they were going to drop the ball on him, and they did for a second. They did. But this storyline right here, it's good. I hope it goes to the Royal Rumble and it ends there. Like, I'm not sure if I want them to even have a match at the Royal Rumble. I just want it to be in the Royal Rumble. Let them be like the first two. Or whenever they do just come out, make it to where there's a whole like 3-4 minutes where it's just them wrestling. While everybody else is, outside trying to recoup. You know what I'm saying? Alright, then after the match, what happened next? Oh yeah, Eric Rowan had a weird little situation with Lana because he wasn't invited to the wedding. Honey, I wouldn't invite you either. Not gonna lie, I don't want you there. What you gonna be there for? What are you gonna do for me? Well, that's my question. What are you gonna do for me? But yeah, I felt that was very weird. Why would Rowan want to go? It's just, eh. Then afterwards, he had a match with a local talent, Kip Stevens. I wrote his name down. It was another squash match. Another squash match. Come on now. We've been doing squashes with Eric Rowan for what, a month and a half, 2 months now? Can we get some? Can you feed him Zack Ryder or something? And I know that's ugly. Feed him Mike Kanellis. Give Mike something to do. I like Mike Kanellis. Like, he was one of the few people I followed on the independent scene. And when he came to WWE, I'm like, yes, he finna come through, he finna kill it. And he did none. But then again, he had to fight his demons. He went through rehab. Proud of him for that. But yeah, come on, give Eric Young something to do other than getting a big boot from Charlotte Flair. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. But oh God, I love wrestling. But yeah, give the guys that's not doing nothing a No Way Jose, Apollo Crews. I don't even know what shows they're on. I'm just yelling out names. Give them something to do. And I really want to know what's in this stupid crate. Like, is it an animal? Is it Hornswoggle? Like, what is in there? What is in there? It's driving me nuts. I'm intrigued. I need to know what's in the cage. Just let us know. Hopefully on the first episode of the decade next week, we can find out what's finally in that cage. Jesus. So next, Charlotte Flair came out and she announced that she's going to be in the Women's Royal Rumble match, which I kind of saw that coming. I kind of saw that. What else would she have done, though? Because, Becky and Asuka having their little moment. She can't go for the SmackDown. Becky was her tag team partner. Actually, Natalya was her tag team partner. What happened to that? I was actually down for that. Second generation superstars? Come on. I was here. Flair and Hearts on the same team? That's not ever going to happen. So I was excited to see it. They were winning matches. They were building up a nice little record as a team. And then all of a sudden they just dropped Natalya and put Becky Lynch there. What? And then took Natalya off TV for like a month. But yeah, sorry. But yeah, she's going to be in the Royal Rumble. I don't know who I want to win the Royal Rumble. I'll do a separate podcast on my predictions for the Royal Rumble. Once we get a full card, or somewhat of a full card, because Vince likes to wait last minute to book some stuff. But hey, I'm going to be quiet. Moving on. So, she was talking about her accomplishments, which, you can't take that away from her. She's a 10-time women's champion, although she's been shoved down her throat. You cannot deny that she is an amazing worker, especially coming in later in the game, later in her life. We got to give it to her. I'm still a little salty she beat Trish Stratus, and I'm not going to lie. I understand it was a passing of the torch moment, but no, I wasn't ready. Anyway, she issued an open challenge, and Natalya came out. And they put on a decent match. Like I said, the wrestling last night was good. I don't think there was a bad match. Well, as of right now, hold on, let me get a little further. But as of right now, at this point of the show, there's not been a bad match. And SmackDown was the same way. SmackDown was amazing. I have been really entertained by what WWE is putting on my screens here lately. And I notice it's starting to show in the ratings. So come on, WWE, keep pushing in the right direction. So they had the match. It was good. The ending was kind of weird for me when she hit the figure 8. And Natalya was trying to, maneuver herself to the rope. It looked like she was close enough to reach it, but hey, I'm gonna be quiet. That's just me being a big women's wrestling fan. But can we talk about the 24/7 championship that interrupted the middle of the match? When the 24/7 championship first came into WWE, I was ecstatic. I loved that 24/7 title. I didn't like how it looked, but I loved having that randomness back to wrestling, the entertainment. Because the E in WWE is entertainment. You gotta remember that, and I just love it. Brought entertainment. It was fun. We got weird champions. It was cool. Tamina got to become a champion for the first time ever in her 10 years with WWE. Really WWE, but that's we're not going to talk about how Tamina's underused. Let's rewind. But yeah, it's fun. It was fun. Then it got stupid because when they did the brand split again, when they enforced it this time, because I'm proud of them for actually keeping it enforced. The 24/7 title was an idea from the USA network, so it had to stay with Raw. It still says it can be defended anywhere, and I'm hoping in 2020 it can be defended anywhere. But right now, it's only been seen on Raw and house shows. Has it popped up on pay-per-views? Honestly, I don't know. And I really enjoyed the Christmas situation they had last week with Santa Claus and Akira Tozawa, who is also another underused superstar, but we're not going to get on that. Yeah, I enjoyed that. I'm like, oh, good. Maybe they're going to go back into that route and making it fun again. And that was stupid. They ran around the ring. Eric Young got big booted by Charlotte. Now, here's the thing. If they would have somehow got into the ring and Charlotte or even Natalya pinned R-Truth, that would have been everything. I would have been clapping. It would have been everything I needed in this life. But it didn't. It came, it went. It was like, Then we get after that, let's move on. Becky Lynch was talking to Caleb. No, not Caleb. What's the other one? Charlie. That's what she's talking to. Charlie. And she announced that she is going to face Asuka at the Royal Rumble. Her contract is ending, so they got to give her what she wants and blah, blah, blah. I like how they're speaking on situations like that before, because usually they don't talk about when a superstar's contract is expiring. So when they did that with Dean Ambrose, who is now Jon Moxley in AEW, I was very shocked by that. Because usually when a contract ends, they let it end and then they move on. They don't really give some form of announcement unless they get released. So that was new for me. And then when they did it now, I'm not sure if her contract really is coming up or is this just a storyline, but I just like the fact that they are bringing up that there are contracts. Like, this is people's jobs. This is how they make their money. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited for the match. They confirmed it later. I like the title card picture that they posted that showed their whole body. They don't do that no more. They showed the full body. I was like, okay. And, gives Asuka something to do while Kyrie's out healing up. Oh, poor Kyrie. Oh, baby. We ain't going to talk about that TLC match. Ooh. But, yeah. So, that's a match I'm really excited to see. Then we got another Liv Morgan video. When I tell you I've been loving these little videos from Liv Morgan, I'm like, come on. At first, I thought they were going down the Emelina route. But as they kept coming, I'm like, oh, no, this is something different. I'm intrigued. I need to know what's going on. And at the end of this one, I'm like, oh, yeah, she's probably going to come next week. Little did I know. Okay. So, next, the OC comes out to the ring. And they're talking about, we're the best tag team in the we beat blah, blah, blah. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate the OC. But they've always annoyed me. Like, AJ Styles, great. Carl Anderson and Luke Harper. No, I called him something else. Luke Anderson. Sorry. I've never been a big fan of theirs. So, now that they're all back and they're the OC, I was like, okay, but yeah, they were talking their trash. We're big, we beat the fucking Raiders, blah, 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 cat, key. And then the Street Profits come out. When I tell you I love the Street Profits, I love them with everything in me. And they came out and they're like, well, we beat y'all, remember? On our first night on Raw. Boom, period. I'm like, tell them again. I don't think they remember. And as they were coming to the ring, they referenced that their name is used to be one of those reality shows, the OC. Was it MTV? Oh God, I was done. It was too funny. So the OC challenged, them, the Street Profits, and they had a match, and the Street Profits won. It was a good match. It really was. I was shocked that AJ got ejected from the ring. At least as early as he did. I thought he was going to, play it out. It was going to be a nice long thing. And then towards the end, he's going to get kicked out. Then they lose. Now, baby, 2 minutes in, AJ, bite. I'm like, oh, okay. But they put on a good match. Street Profits won. And it was amazing. And then afterwards, they had this weird moment where Montez Ford was talking about we're the best tag team in the multiverse. And I'm like, you're trying too hard to reach into other demographics. So hold on, you're not there yet, WWE. You're not there yet. But I give you a B for trying. Drew McIntyre went against Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. And I love the cockiness that Drew McIntyre has. Like, he comes out, he's like, yeah, with that real thick Scottish accent that I can't do. And he just leaned up to someone, hey, can I lean here? It don't matter, I'm going to anyway. I was like, oh. I was like, okay, you better talk your, talk it. The match, like I said, that match was okay. That match was even decent as well. You know what I'm saying? It lasted, 2 minutes? But it did what it was supposed to do. It makes Drew McIntyre look really strong before the Royal Rumble. Unfortunately, it had to be at the cost of Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. So next, Randy Orton comes out, and I'm getting ready to cry. He comes out on those crutches, and he gets into that ring with the assistance of that man. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, well, why did they do this during the commercial break? Do they not know how sad this is making me? How sad this is making his fans? Like, he's one of those people who could be heel or face, and it works for me. He's one of the 5 people I can say is a good as a heel and a face. AJ Styles is another one. But it was just, and he starts talking, and he mentions Edge, and I'm like, oh Lord, is this a retirement speech? I'm feeling the tears coming. I'm feeling them coming, because you just don't understand. Randy Orton, I don't want to say he's like my favorite wrestler, but he's up there. Like, he's one of the consistent people from when I first started watching wrestling. And that's another podcast I'm in the process of working on too, about how I got into wrestling and whatnot. I'm trying to get my brother to get his hard-headed self over here. But anyway, back on top. I'm sitting there, I'm getting all emotional. And I'm like, oh no. And then he's talking about how he might not come back. And I'm like, don't play with me, Randall. Do not play with me. I can't handle that. My heart can't handle that at this moment in time. And then AJ Styles comes out, and I'm like, no, he really is leaving. He's going to put over AJ on his way out. I was so sad. And AJ being an awesome heel, talking about, I hope you do come back so I can retire you at WrestleMania, I have my own personal feelings about AJ Styles, but he's a great wrestler, so. But anyway, they're having their little back and forth. And then he kicks the crutch away from him. I'm looking around like, I know the hell he did not just kick this crutch away from him. And he's all hobbling and wobbling back, trying to catch the rope. I'm like, oh no. I'm like, baby, this ain't fair. This is not fair. I can't. It's not fair. And then Randy Orton's going to get on the mic talking about, that's one thing that's different between you and me. You're a patient man and I'm not. And then he RKO'd him out of nowhere. When I tell you I screamed, I'm shocked my neighbors didn't come, complain on the noise. Because I screamed. Like, it came out loud. Like somebody just, I was like, ah! Like it was. But I was Randall Keith. That's how you do it. That is how you play somebody. You played everybody. You played AJ. That was good. I thoroughly enjoyed that. So I'm super excited. Maybe they're going to go one-on-one at the Rumble. Hopefully they're both in the Rumble as well. I would like to see both of them in the Rumble. Yes, I would. Then they showed this clip from Madison Square Garden and showing how Andrade beat Rey Mysterio. And he was talking about, oh, I'm going to win him back in my rematch. I thought there was no automatic rematches. I thought that was a thing in the past. Like, what's going on there? But hey, Rey Mysterio is a great worker. He's a great wrestler. I want to see it. So next we had Andrade versus, oh god, a local talent. I don't even think they said the local talent's name. I don't even have it written down there. During that match, he was running through him like normal. And then he was going, him and Zelina Vega, who was giving us Dancing with the Stars realness last night. I'm like, wait a minute. Is she trying to drop a hint that she's going to be doing Dance with the Stars? Because that's what it looked like. If she did, I'll be here for it. You know, I watched Dance with Stars. We'll get to that later. Anyway, she's pulling up the little cushion on the ground that blocks the cement from the people who fall on it. And they're getting ready to DDT him on there like they did to Humberto last week. Was it last week? I think so. Anyway, then Ricochet, the superhero. Let me stop because I like Ricochet, but I hate that they call him a superhero. He came out, he stopped it, it ended the match, and then them two had a match. And that match, like I said, the wrestling has been really good. Really good. Oh, they put on a match. And then he did the, I don't know what you call that move. You know, Ricochet ran towards him and Andrade flipped him onto that little hard cement area. It was amazing. It was amazing. And I really enjoyed the ending when Zelina Vega got involved. I really think I was shocked how involved she was in this match with her wearing a dress and heels. Because usually, you can tell when Zelina's going to get involved. If she got on them boots, them black boots that have no heel, that's how you know somebody's getting a Hurricane Rana. That 83 overall Hurricane Rana. But let's move on. Anyway. Oh, I cracked myself up. I'm sorry. Then afterwards, Zelina was, hyping up Andrade, talking about he's this, he's that, he's awesome, and next week they're gonna beat him. And then Andrade said something in Spanish. I didn't know what he said. And then they announced Brock Lesnar will be on Raw next week. Yay! I don't understand the hype around Brock Lesnar. I never have. No. Now his original run in WWE, yeah. When he first came back, I'm like, cool. I'm down with that. Come on, Brock. When he beat Undertaker at WrestleMania, I was done with him from that point on. It's been forget Brock ever since. And then this whole little part-time situation that Vince just lets him get away with. Like, what is that? No, if you're going to be champion, you need to be there every week. Every pay-per-view. Not when you decide you want to show up or whatever the case is. We really don't know what's going on backstage. Maybe Vince is the one encouraging him to do a part-time. I don't know. But it's stupid. But he'll be on next week. Hopefully we'll get a number one contender type situation going on next week. But who would I want to see against Brock Lesnar, though? That's the question. At the Rumble. I don't want to see Cain Velasquez again. I feel like they're going to hold that off for WrestleMania. I imagine they'll want somebody who can give him a solid match. Maybe AJ Styles, because when they had that match at Survivor Series a few years back, that was good. I didn't expect that match to be good. So yeah, maybe AJ Styles, that would be good. You can take that idea, Vince. That's for free. Oh my goodness. Okay. Now we get to the wedding. I have to say, they had it decorated nice. Oh, it was nice. And I have to say, I have not been the biggest fan of this storyline. I hated it at first. Then I started liking it when they finally let Rusev, unhinge and attack Bobby and do this and do that. I was liking it. Then it got stupid again. And tonight, I had to remind myself. Somebody I follow on Twitter put, "You got to remember that E in WWE is entertainment." I said that earlier. And everything that just happened that night was entertainment. And I hate to say this, I really do, but I was entertained. I was. Oh, I was. I hated this whole storyline except for like 2 weeks. But I lived for everything that happened tonight. I did, except for one small thing. We'll get to that in a second. So it starts out, Bobby comes out in that god awful. Come on now. I understand you're a wrestler, and I understand this isn't real, but come on, can you at least put on a decent suit? Maybe one of those tearaway suits, just in case you had to throw some hands on somebody. You know what I'm talking about? So yeah, it looks nice. Lana's wedding dress, choices. We'll just leave it at that. Choices. So she comes out, they start the wedding. Of course, they're chanting Rusev Day and what? Lana's getting mad. She keeps screaming at blah, blah, blah. And then we finally get to the part where it says, if any man or woman object, please speak now, forever hold your peace. Then Lana's first husband came out. Now, I'm not sure if she had a first husband. I'm not sure if this is storyline. I didn't do any research on that. But they said it was her first husband. They married at 18. And then they got a divorce so that she could marry Rusev. And he looked familiar. Like, I've seen him somewhere. Like, I'm really going to have to do some digging on that. So Bobby Lashley beat him up. And then they get back to it. And then here comes Bobby Lashley's first wife. At first, I thought it was Crystal. I'm like, baby, is this Crystal? But then I looked, I'm like, no, this ain't Crystal. I'm like, oh, Crystal's back in WWE. I was gonna get so excited, but once again, not Crystal. And then, baby, she couldn't even get like 3 words out, and Lana was ready for it. She was like, what? I was like, oh, so that's how we're doing. Okay, so they get back in it, and guess who interrupts this time? The returning Liv Morgan. And she gave a tearful speech about being in love with one of them. And I knew as soon as she came out, I'm like, bitch, this is going to be a Liv and Lana situation, not a Liv and Bobby. They hyped up Liv's return so hard. For this? For this? Anybody who knows me, I'm a huge Liv Morgan fan. I have since she walked through the door. When she was in NXT, I was like, yes, that's the one. They slept on her. Then she got called up to the main roster with the Riot Squad. They slept on the Riot Squad. And now they're separated. And it looked like they were finally going to give Liv a push, which they probably still are. I feel like the whole Liv and Lana thing is going to continue on into the new year. But that in my mind, that was not the push. And my thing is, I'm all for LGBTQ storylines. I love it. I want to see more. But when you have an actual lesbian on SmackDown, and I want to say I read a report that she was pushing for a similar story like this with her tag team partner, Mandy Rose. Why not actually give that storyline to somebody who's in the community? Like, I'm not sure if Lana is bisexual. She could be. And I haven't heard anything about Liv being bisexual. But we do know that Sonya Deville is an openly gay woman. If you watch Total Divas, she's been all over it with her girlfriend. Why not give her that storyline? The representation that would have brought to it. Not only are you doing a storyline, but you're actually using someone who's a lesbian. I don't get it. Well, she's right there. I understand she's on another show. But like, y'all could have made that work somehow. Or if y'all knew this was the storyline going in, you should have put Sonya and Mandy on Raw. That's the only thing about this whole thing I didn't like. I'm excited that they're going to do an LGBTQ story. I am so excited about that. I've been hollering that for the longest. Get some representation out here. But I'm just going to have to wait and see where this goes. But I didn't like it. And the pantsuit she wore, I'm like, what are you wearing, Liv? Are they trying to push the whole lesbian lover thing by making you wear a pantsuit, honey? But hey, because I don't want to assume that's what it said, but seeing how WWE handled lesbians in the past, I wouldn't put it past Vince for saying, "Oh, she's supposed to be in this thing with her. You wear a pantsuit." But hey, and so she announced that she's still in love with Lana. Her and Lana have a little tussle, which Lana was looking good in that little tussle. I'm like, okay, Lana, have you been doing some training? Have you been running the ropes, honey? Okay, I'm here. They finished that. Security escort Lana out the not Lana, Liv. Ooh, Liv and Lana, 2 L's. They escort Liv out, and they continue. And he says it one more time, but this time Rusev came out the cake and attacked Lashley. This time the little minister man, he ran away. He's like, "This is too much for me. I got to go. I don't get paid enough for this." So he beats up Lashley. Then Liv comes back, beats up Lana. And they're having a nice little cute feel good moment at the end. And I love the one thing that really tickled me was when the people kept interrupting the first husband and first wife and Liv Morgan. The crowd started chanting, "Jerry, Jerry, Jerry." I'm like, come on. And I thought about it. This is a storyline plucked straight out of the 90s. This is Attitude Era storyline. I just hope it's over. Like, I would like to see Lana and Liv's story continue, but the whole Bobby Lashley thing, I hope like Lana breaks up with him so that can end that there. And probably let Rusev and Lashley have like one more legit match and let Rusev go over. That would be great. But yeah, then they showed a little clip on YouTube afterwards, basically showing Liv and Rusev celebrating after beating everybody up. And it was cute. It was cute. And they went hella over last night, like 15 minutes over. I was like, wait, what? I was so confused. I'm looking at my phone. I'm like, baby, it's 10:15. Baby, this is old wrestling when they used to go over 15 minutes. I guess USA gave them the okay. But yeah, and that was Monday Night Raw. It was, like I said, I really enjoyed it. Minus the whole Liv Morgan return. I was expecting something bigger. Honestly, I was expecting the first Raw of 2020. I expected her to attack Charlotte Flair because the last time we saw Liv Morgan, she was sitting there and she got beat by Charlotte Flair. And she's time, it's time for a new Liv, and she disappeared, and now she's back. So I figured her first coming backings would have been against Charlotte. Honestly, I was hoping it was her who would have answered Charlotte's open call challenge, that situation earlier. But yeah, overall, Raw was good. Yeah, Raw was good, and Raw's been getting a little better each week. You can see Paul Heyman is slowly but surely getting things the way it needs to be. And I really do appreciate that. But yeah, guys, let me know what you thought of tonight's episode on Twitter. You can follow me there at Desmond Tanner. The O in Desmond is actually a 0. So it's DESMM0NDTANNER. Come there, follow me, and let's chat about last night's episode of Raw. It was fun. I'm excited to see more. Hopefully we can get another episode up this week. I know I'm going to do a SmackDown and possibly an NXT review. I'm still up in the air about NXT. It just depends on how this week works for me. But hopefully we can get my co-host for the other part of the show to come in and get another episode up this week for y'all. So stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you guys later. Bye.